Well, according to court documents at the courthouse, police are investigating whether this was some sort of gun trade gone bad. Now, shortly after this Memorial Day homicide, the 15th of the year here in the capital city, police had 3 men in custody on unrelated gun charges. One of the suspects was under house arrest, and GPS monitoring helped police secure the arrest.
I saw a young fella look like him run across my lawn and run down the driveway. Then we heard 2 shots, or sounded like shots, bang, bang.
Hartford police returning to Amherst Street Wednesday morning, where 19-year-old Makhi Buckly was shot and killed Memorial Day. Hours later came an update from detectives.
We have 3 people arrested in connection with the homicide. We have them on firearms charges. They have not been charged at this point with the homicide itself.
Do you expect that they will be?
We expect the charges to be updated.
Those men, according to Hartford police, are Omari Barrett, Tyrese Duckworth, and Jaquan Graham, all of Hartford and all facing various felony gun-related charges.
He wanted to be a trainer, and he wanted to train young people, because a lot of people had trained him to get to the ability where he was in terms of athletically.
Brother Carl Hardrick, a longtime violence prevention activist in Hartford and mentor to countless youth in the city, is Buckley's grandfather, a man who has spent years consoling other families who've lost loved ones to violence.
When someone said, "You need to hurry up," someone said, "Brother Carl, you need to hurry up and get to the hospital," I got kind of worried, because I know what that means. Hurry up means it doesn't look good.
The freshman football player at American International College in Springfield wanted to be a trainer and played football for Capital Prep in Hartford. Brother Carl says his grandson had his challenges, and he'll continue fighting for the Hartford youth.
YMCA, Boys and Girls Club, nonprofits have to look at what are we doing and what can we do collectively.
Back at the scene of the crime, police were making progress.
Covered the whole area like a fine-tooth comb, and they finally found the casing. They found it.
Now, at his court arraignment, Jaquan Graham was held on $3 million bond. Jamari Barrett held on $2 million bond. And the third gun charge suspect held on $500,000 bond. We did speak with the medical examiner today. He tells us that Makhi Buckly died of 1 gunshot wound to his torso. There will be a vigil with the family at a later date. Reporting live in Hartford, I'm Jill Konopka, Fox 61 News.